Well guys, welcome back to the Abundant Harvest Homestead, and it's quite a welcome back for me actually too. We just spent about 12 days gone, and definitely happy to be back, but a whole different situation upon our return as opposed to our departure. Behind me is a bunch of the sweet potatoes we got from Sapper Gardener. They're purple sweet potatoes. I had to pull those back once again. We kept kind of pulling them back and burying them again all summer long, looking forward to a harder frost. And then we're going to be pulling those up and harvesting them. I also have a plan, which is going to be taking some of them, like here where it was rooting, and just keeping them as a house plant through the winter. By doing that, I'm thinking that I might be able to kind of skip starting some slips in the spring and just kind of have some growing. I can take this and cut it into more pieces come spring. Each little vine can become a number of new ones, so we'll see if that doesn't work. But that's not what this video is about. This video is about kale and our fall garden. Now as we head into this season, I should have had a lot of things planted already. I simply have been gone for work or gone with other things way too much. So much different stuff going on at the homestead that concentrating on the food has kind of gone by the wayside. Now the cool thing is that we have a number of these that we planted in the spring that kind of got beat up all summer. A while ago I did a video where I talked about the fact that we eat way more healthy food because we grow ourselves than we ever would buy at the store. Simply put, I wouldn't just go in and buy handfuls of kale all the time at a grocery store. I just wouldn't do it. Periodically, sure. All the time, no. But since we have them growing here and since they're ready and available constantly, it just seems like it makes so much sense just to constantly be harvesting them, putting some up for the winter, but also eating fresh as often as we possibly can. So a lot of this kale has already had a pretty rough year. We planted it earlier and we're harvesting it over and over and over again. This stuff I got to give a shout out to Royal Amethyst Acres. They wanted to do a donation for the Box of Blessings and they sent us this dinosaur kale. The Box of Blessings video is coming up next, very soon anyway. It's back here. I've been meaning to record it for a while. I just got to get here a little bit more and be able to record that because I got it back from Adventures in Our Garden and it's heading to the next place as soon as I get that video out. But this stuff is the dinosaur kale. Got the seeds from Royal Amethyst Acres. There's more seeds for it in that Box of Blessings. As you can see, a lot of these leaves are kind of tore up. And there are certain butterflies that just concentrate on having their eggs be laid on members of the brassica family on different things like cauliflower, cabbage, kale, broccoli. And this is not going to be entirely uncommon in an organic garden environment. So rather than just kind of constantly hitting these guys with chemicals or doing other things, we just kind of let them fight off the predators on their own, fight off the pests on their own. And at this point, those butterflies are pretty much done with their life cycles for the year. So what we're going to find is that fewer and fewer of these new leaves are going to get chewed up, and we're going to start getting a lot nicer leaves. Because this is a pretty cold hardy plant, and because we're in a pretty mild climate, we're on 7A, 6B here, these could last well into the winter and possibly even till spring. So in a similar way, we've been letting this kale do the same thing. We harvested this and cut it back so many times, but it's still alive, it's still thriving, and once again, we're getting a lot of big, beautiful leaves. So compared to the dinosaur kale, you can see a difference in the way that the leaves are. These are both kales though, both very tasty, both very nutritious, and thankfully when you raise children up on a certain thing, it becomes kind of familiar to them. It becomes something that they'll eat. If you feed a kid sugars and candy and all sorts of sweet tasting food constantly, and then you give them a raw leaf of kale, they're not going to enjoy eating it. But for us, we have the blessing of having our children get a lot of the food out of here. And in fact, they actually get a lot of it out of here themselves. They'll ask for certain things as treats by name, but then also if we say, okay, we're having a salad, and they can just come out and gather some things that would be good for a salad. Or okay, we're having a stir fry, and they'll come out here and just gather a bunch of stuff good for a stir fry. This one has been kale for us this year, and we also had some onions mixed in. Harvested the majority of the onions, but the smaller ones we left in. And now, as I said, the kale that's been fighting off pests all summer and kind of chewed up is finally going to be able to thrive. And rather than starting off with seedlings right now, these plants that we've had for months already are finally going to be able to really kind of reach their full potential. Well, what do you know, guys? Speak of the little peppers. I was just talking about how you guys will eat raw kale. Is that a true story?
Yeah.
What do you want, dinosaur or regular?
Dinosaur.
Dinosaur, break it in half then. Your sister wants some too. So as you can see from the stocking caps and the shirt that's being worn like a little T-Rex shirt. Yeah, show me your raw arms. That is one ugly T-Rex. But it is getting cooler here. How long have we had this kale, kids?
A while.
A while. How many times have you guys had to harvest it?
Like a million times.
Like a million times, she says.
Only like maybe 10 times. No, 100.
So if you look at some of it now, guys, these are big healthy leaves. And we'll have them come back out and do it again soon enough, right?
Golden raspberries.
Golden raspberries? You guys can go take a peek. So anyway, you guys can see the difference in color past my head. You got the dinosaur kale up there, and this kale here. I think this is like a blue curly Scotch kale. What was it called? Something like that. But just some good kale we've been growing. Definitely enjoy having it here. Had some last year in our kind of winter garden. I tried a straw bale cold frame. That worked kind of well too. But looking forward to kind of having this go. If you guys haven't planted kale yet, and if you're far enough south, definitely a great time to do that. We plan on doing some of that as well. But we're also just going to let these more mature plants reside here and continue to provide for our family. We'll see you next time. Papa out. Look at that backdrop. You're just surrounded by ghost peppers. What in the world? You found that up there?
No.
No. This is the healthiest food fight I've ever seen. On the door!
There was another chick, and it was peeping in its egg.
Is it starting to hatch yet?
Not yet. I checked on it a few minutes ago, and it wasn't hatching. It could be hatching right now, but when we got our first chick, we didn't do anything to it. Excuse me, and it was alive. So if it hatches overnight, it hopefully should be alive tomorrow.
We'll check on it after dinner, huh?
Yeah. And the other chick that we have is doing very good. So I didn't win the veggie fight. I switched it into a metal barrel. So it looks like an Orpington chick actually, because when we got 8 Orpington babies, they look like this. And its dad is an Orpington. So I think it got more Orpington than the other chickens. Than the other type of chicken. It's doing very good and super soft.
Hopefully soon it'll have a sibling, huh?
Yeah, it should.
Alright, let's go eat dinner.
Pinky out!
funny? Is it funny?